There is nothing more brutal than a breakup. And nobody knows this more so than me because I myself am going through a breakup right now. And there's a few key tips that I've learned over the years that make you not only survive your breakup, but thrive in your breakup. If you play this right, not only will you come out of this breakup with your ex begging for you back, but you will be an improved version of yourself. This video is not about getting him back, it's about getting yourself back. It's a reclamation of your power as a woman. Number one, you have to do the hard thing and accept that it's over. I am telling you, you want to drag your breakup out as long as possible, make it as painful as it can be. Cling on to the hope that he's going to come back and you're going to work it out. The hope is what really kills you. It strings you along. It tells you lies that, he's going to grow and he's going to come back and he's going to beg for you and he's going to evolve. This is not working to your advantage. The best thing to do is swallow the hard pill and know that if he was the right guy for you, he wouldn't have left in the first place. Even if he comes back, which they always do, mark my words, you don't want him now because now he's shown you he's willing to walk out the door. You accept his apology, the cycle will just repeat. He's shown you he's not worthy of being your boyfriend. Let him rest on that L because he's unworthy of you and move on. Don't play the games in your head of, I could have done this differently and he would have stayed and I could have done this. No, there is nothing you could have done to make that boy into a man. And statistically, men regret breakups more than women. My personal theory on this is because women are so giving in a relationship. So when women go through a breakup, they have all this energy back that they were at one point investing in him. And they're like, oh my God, my life is so much better after they get through the hurt. And men, on the other hand, were getting so much. And now there's this void in their life that their girlfriend or wife used to fill. And they're like, oh, now I have to do all this stuff myself. And then they really stew in the loss of a woman. Remember, in no lifetime will it ever be your loss. A lot of men are plagued with this mindset of the grass is always greener. No matter what reason he broke up with you, let it go. You deserve better. So don't play the game where you fantasize about him coming back. Instead, pour your energy onto how much better the next man you date is going to be, how much better your life is now that he's gone. Which leads me to tip number 2. Instead of obsessing over the stories you have of him and ruminating on what could have been different and what did he mean by this, and I think there's actually something going on between him and this girl, and all of these stories that are going to literally drive you insane, you are so much wiser to assess your own behavior. Why did you abandon yourself in your relationship? Why didn't you speak up earlier when you felt uncomfortable when he did XYZ? This is the opportunity for growth. And this is how you come out of your breakup an improved version of yourself. And really at the end of the day, that man has just shown you he's not worthy of your time, attention, energy. So you continually thinking about him after a breakup is a waste of your energy. Pour that energy back into yourself and really assess, how am I going to make sure this pattern doesn't repeat? How am I going to make sure I never abandon myself for a man ever again? How could I fill the voids in my life that he was filling so I'm not dependent on a man to fill them? Let's say, for example, you really liked him because he was providing you with security. The answer is not, oh, you need to find a new man to give you security. The answer is, how can you foster that in your life, security within yourself, within your financial position, so that you're never dependent on a man again for that? This is how you become more powerful and therefore able to be more selective about your partners in the future. The universe is holding up a mirror to you and it's like, here's all the things that you get to heal. This is like the juicy part of a breakup where you come out on the other side an improved version of yourself. 3, this is a hard one for a lot of women. 60 days, no contact. And it's not just 60 days not talking to him, not texting him. It's 60 days not checking his socials, not going through old tech, not listening to old voice notes, not looking at old photos. This is a detox. You need him out of your life. Not only is your silence elevating your status to him, it's regulating your nervous system and making you less attached to that man. When those thoughts start to creep in of, oh, I just want to check his socials and see if he's doing, I just want to know he's not doing better without me. Let me reassure you, karma always comes to collect. You guys, I'm 31. I've been through a handful of breakups. Not a single man who did me dirty ever ended up better on the other side. I'm literally telling you, know without a shadow of a doubt, karma will come for a man who did you dirty You just need to move on with your life. 4, you need to make a pros and cons list. The way that your brain works is over time, it will start to edit out the bad memories of him, and it will start to enhance the positive memories of him. And slowly over time, you will start to romanticize a man who broke your heart. You need a pros list of all the things you can do now that he's not in your life and all the negatives of having him in your life. And your brain is playing the game. Could we work it out? You need to read this list and hammer it into your brain so you remember, oh, he wasn't my Prince Charming. He's actually just a loser dude. 5, you need to find something you hate about him and cling to it, even if it's something really small. In those moments where you're missing him or your brain is running off with fantasies about him, you need to really ground into, God, Carissa, I can't believe you almost married a man 20 years older than you. Oh my God, Carissa, I can't believe you thought you were going to settle for a guy like that. That one thing that really holds you down. Tip number 6, you need to avoid friends who feed your negative thoughts. Even though I do believe it's well-intentioned that a lot of friends will try to tell you he's the worst and he did this and I hate him for this. And it's very validating in the moment. It feeds your ego like, oh, I'm so much better than him. Ultimately, it's not serving you. You want friends who are going to remind you how special you are, how much better you deserve. And again, you're taking the focus off him. This guy has shown you he's not worthy of being your partner. He sucks that fucking hard. So instead of pouring more energy into him, pour it into yourself. Your ego wants to obsess over how he treated you badly, but your higher self knows he's really just projecting his own internal turmoil onto you. Your ego wants to make it super personal that he treated you badly, but your higher self knows it's actually really unpersonal. It's all about him. So instead of obsessing over him, obsess over how much better your life is without him. Do not waste your time obsessing over him and what he's doing. No amount of pain for him will bring you peace. And rest easy knowing that rotten fruit always falls on its own. You don't have to do anything but move on with your life. 7, know that what was special about him was actually you projecting all your good qualities onto him. He is just a man, and he's shown you now that he's not even a good one. And so all the things you think are so special about him, it's actually you projecting your good qualities onto him. I feel like this really helps you detach in a breakup. So in that same vein, if he moves on really quickly and you feel super burned, know that he's not like suddenly an evolved man for this new woman. Unfortunately, she's about to go through the same stuff you just went through. And in that vein, you should feel sorry for her. He is her next rock bottom. 8 is give yourself permission to move on. There's all these like random theories about it's half the time of your relationship to move on, whatever. I get it. It's well-intentioned. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you decide your reality. There is no blueprint for when you should move on or when you should feel okay with it. The best thing you can do is give yourself permission to move on right now, whether it happened yesterday, whether it happened a week ago, a month ago, whatever. Give yourself permission to let it go. Simply decide, and you'll be shocked how much better you start to feel. Inversely, if you have the story, oh, I can't move on yet, I still feel this, I still feel that, so you're like wallowing in the pain. Hot girls don't wallow. They move on, they improve themselves, and they know no man is irreplaceable, especially one who doesn't treat them well. Remember, you didn't lose a man, you lost a problem. And in fact, you gained peace. So who is the winner here and who is the loser? Thank you. 9 is use pattern interrupt. This is when you find yourself ruminating on him obsessively, like uncontrollably. You need to interrupt the pattern in your brain and form a new neural pathway. And the way to do this is when you catch yourself in that cycle, literally clap your hands and say out loud, I no longer consent to giving him my energy. This is rewiring your brain to stop thinking about him. This literally pulls your brain out of that rumination mode and into the present moment. It puts you back in control of your thoughts. 10, do something exciting, something that gives you that spark of excitement, something to look forward to in the future. So for me, now that I'm going through a breakup, I just booked a 3-month trip to Bali, which I'm so excited about. And now I'm putting my energy into that instead of obsessing over my ex. And I realize not everyone is in the situation to do that, but it could be joining a club that you're excited about, like a run club or a book club. It could be getting a new hobby, like maybe you always wanted to make sushi and now you start doing that. Something that excites you in this new life that you're building without him. Something to put your energy into besides obsessing over him and just seeing this big loss of him in your life. 11 is not seeing him treating you badly as a reflection of your worth. I understand this is easier said than done. Here's an analogy to demonstrate this. Imagine 2 sports teams and they play a game and one wins and one loses. Imagine the winning team running to the locker room of the losing team and being like, "Are you upset? We won, we won, we won." The losing team wouldn't feel defeated. They would feel confused. They'd be like, "Why are you shoving it in our face? We already know you won." And that's because when you've truly won, you simply move forward with your life. You're not obsessed with looking back. And it's the same way with your breakup. When you already know you've won, you simply move on. You don't have to obsess over him. You don't have to look back and monitor his socials. No, you just go on thriving in your life. If he didn't know how to treat you well in your relationship, he's not going to know how to treat you well after. It is not your job to make sure he knows what he lost. Believe me, babe, whether he knows it now or in a year or in 5 years, it will sink in a matter of time. But by then, you have moved on with a better man. No matter what, you win. 12 is to squash the limiting belief that it takes X amount of time to meet your next person. I know we all have our own rules based on our dating history of it will take a year to replace, take 2 years, whatever. You guys, there are no rules. Your reality is shaped by your perception. So when you have the belief that there are great men everywhere looking for women like you, that's what you're going to see. Pick a belief that better serves you. Number 13, it's very common to have the anxiety in a breakup of thinking that person is going to simply replace you and never really face the hurt that they've caused you. And while I really understand that concern, rest assured that people are not interchangeable. It doesn't matter, she's Insta famous or she's, better looking than you or she's accomplished all this stuff, whatever. Your aura is specific to you. People are not interchangeable. Yeah, maybe he has a new victim. It doesn't mean that she's having a better time with him than you. Your uniqueness will always be your power. So rest assured, even if he's moved on really quickly, that girl certainly does not got it like you. And 14, the last one, is know that healing is an up and down journey. I know that a lot of women think that if they are going through a breakup, that it should be this steady slope upward and they're continually feeling better. No, usually it's they have one fun weekend with their girlfriends and they're feeling up, and then they see him post with his ex and they're back down here, and it's like this up and down, but you're slowly moving upward and getting over him. So don't be discouraged if you're feeling better and then one day you're feeling worse. That is part of the journey. And if you want to know how to make your breakup 1,000 times easier, simply return your energy to yourself. Stop trying to prove anything to him. You don't care about him. He's just shown you he's unworthy of a second of your time, of the breath in your lungs, the energy in your thumbs to type him out a long paragraph text. The faster you return back to yourself, the faster you move on, and the faster you harness an incredible life without this man.